welcome to this December sketchbook tour. I caught up on my layout on my computer, which differs from this layout, first of all, because the pages are next to each other and not one after the other. So there's actually like 2-page spreads, and also there's some like editing that takes, like, for example, this is a good example. I can't put this character in because I don't want to get sued by Disney, so she will be removed in the printed version. Hold on, I gotta help Luna. Luna has the zoomies, and she wanted you all to know. Let's get to it. So, what was I saying? What I was trying to say is that on the computer, with all the little cuts and edits, and some of the early pages being cut out because they're just really random, or they have like Star Wars images in them, it's 71 pages. All right. I keep getting interrupted by cats today on my sketchbook tour, so I apologize for all the cuts. So let's start with COVID. We'll start with COVID, and then we'll just flip through. So I've last week I had the black and white pages, but this week I have them in color. There is something I forgot to include last week that I have to show you, and it is the reference photos I took for this page. I took some reference photos in the kitchen I was living in, and I thought they were hilarious, and then I forgot to share them, so I'm going to share them here so you can see them. And I even have one sketch that I did before the reference photo, and then the final, so you can see like how much it makes a difference. Reference photos really help me, except with architecture. Reference photos are good, but not for perspective drawing, because if you use a photo or like trace a photo for perspective drawing, it actually just I find it just throws you off completely. But for people, definitely, like how bodies are shaped and faces and stuff, I think reference photos are it, and especially like weird angles of bodies. Luna. This was my peaceful November after I had COVID, just like trying to get back into life a little bit. Yeah, that didn't work. That didn't last very long. I ended up moving out, actually. Last week I moved out of my apartment unexpectedly, which is actually definitely for the better. Though I was happy with the living situation compared to my last one, it still wasn't good. And I'm now kind of in between places, but I'm happy that I'm not in a place that makes me feel so uncomfortable as that one was. This was my dream of just I just want to go to a department store. I grew up like going to department stores as a kid for Christmas. I've worked in many department stores all over the world, low budget and higher budget ones. And I love the energy of a department store at Christmas. Even as a retail worker or a retail manager, I just loved it. I love it so much. And often I was traveling and didn't have family, so I felt, surrounded by people and stuff, which was always really nice. So this is like my little version of a department store for Christmas. This is a mess. I messed up so many of these that I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to include this page, but I did remove this from the edits, like from the actual print version, and I'm going to draw something else to go there. But it's like really crazy how much the weather changes here. Like if we go to the first chapter, I actually can't believe how quick, like it goes from September, which turns into this very quickly. And then we get this like Halloween, and then we get this gray November where it's just gray for like a month and raining. It is what it is. And then we go from that to snow, and then everything's really Christmassy and like festive. So it's a very quick, you live like 3 different seasons in a few months, like fall, you go from like summer, fall to winter. Pretty crazy. I mean, I've lived places where the seasons aren't that changey, and it's definitely a cool thing to experience, I'm not gonna lie. So here we are in the department store, and the ground starts to break up a little bit, and we're back in our little Arctic wasteland, but there's a penguin this time because, you want a little bit of companionship. I also put this penguin in the display here in case you didn't notice. And then we find the cabin. So these are going to be chopped and changed because I did it out of order. She's going to find the cave first. My favorite cave, my favorite place. And then she's going to find the cabin. But I'm most excited to show you the cabin because I was really excited to both redraw it and make it very like holiday themed. I'm going to show you the old illustration first. So here's the inspo pic from Pinterest. And here's the first illustration. I had a lot of mistakes This black door, all these big black, thick black lines and things were because I made mistakes. I had trouble with the banisters. The stairs, they don't look too bad, but, and I had a lot of trouble with the coloring. But I still think it's cute. But I do think that my second version is better. I would have loved to try it on 3D perspective paper just to see like how different it was. But I just went ahead and I did the same. I basically traced this one. So this is the new one. And I don't know, it's just cleaner. I didn't use pencil crayons. I made it a little bit bigger. And I just think with the Copic markers, it's much cleaner. This has a lot of ink smudging kind of all throughout, which makes it look a little bit dirtier. And this is very clean. So I traced it so you can see here the original and the differences. I don't know why I drew a Christmas tree here. I think because it was a cabin, and it was winter when I drew this, but this is the upgraded. There's snacks everywhere. There's some wine for you when you arrive. I did a gas stove this time instead of an electric stove. And the idea of the cabin and the cave not being exactly the same is that they're not real places. Okay, they're not real places, so that they do change. And this comic book is also about my drawing getting a little bit better. Oh, I have to fix that little mistake there. I can fix that with the gel pen. So you can see my art kind of progress from the beginning to the end, and that's very easy to see when you're drawing the same thing. So I thought it would be I really wanted to revisit the forest because, you know, I would love to redraw some of these a little bit. So I got a chance to do that, which was cool. With what I've learned over the year, it's like a little bit of an improvement. This is it. So we're done. We're caught up. I'm at 85 pages. These are the blank pages I have left. Still going. I can still go up to like I think 95. So, and it's 71 pages in print. And yes, I'm excited. I'm planning on printing the test copy in January. So either the end or the beginning, and I'm going to open pre-orders in January as well. I'm going to use the test copy to photograph, and then I'll put up pre-orders. So I would think February, end of February by the latest. Of course, like there's financial things, like I have to actually get enough money to print it, and I will, I'm sure, but we don't know how long that will take. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, is pre-orders in January and print it in February. This is not necessarily the end. Depending on the next few weeks, I might end it here. I don't know if it's like super satisfying of an ending. I might just do a couple, like 1 or 2 more pages and then end it. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you for coming to my sketchbook tour. I'm just going to zoom in so you can see the decorations here. There's the little bird again, and that is a deer's butt, and there's a little reindeer head. So yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know how you think it's gonna end. I have actually a sketch of how I think it's gonna end. It's a little dark, and I'm working on my mindset. I'm like, let's get into a better place, so I feel like I can end this in a better place. But yeah, it's a crazy thing to look at. I was just editing the layout yesterday, and I had to go and put like a title before each chapter. So like chapter 1 has its own page, and then I would take like a little illustration from it, put it underneath. And it's crazy to see all the different twists and turns and stuff, and how it's just taken us through the whole year, like all the different places we went and the changes with each season. So I don't know, it's been cool. Coolest project I've ever done. I'm not sure if I'm ready for it to be over. Love this. This is one of my favorite illustrations in this. Just so peaceful. So yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know how you want to see it end, and I will see you in 2 weeks at the next sketchbook tour.